Hi, so we are about to start the slow flow. So this class is really good if you're on day 2, 3 of your cycle. It's like in the middle of your cycle and you're feeling a flow to really connect with your body. It's a bit different to the meditation where you're mentally connecting. This is more so movement meditation and connecting inwardly with your body. So a lot of the movements we're going to do are flowy. So if you cannot flow exactly how I'm going to be demonstrating the flow, please listen to your body. Maybe don't do as big of movements, maybe slowly warm yourself up to the flows, but this is here as a guidance and I hope it helps. So we're going to start off in seated and we're going to take 3 deep breaths to connect inwardly with our body, and we're going to do a little bit of a body scan just to understand how our body is presenting, and then we're going to move into our flow. So taking a nice deep breath, I want you to inhale through the nose, filling up the lungs. We're going to hold our breath and slow exhale, release. And again, nice deep breath in through the nose, holding at the top of our breath, and slow exhale, release. One last time, deep breath in through the nose, holding at the top of our breath, and slow exhale, release. Breath is a great way to center and ground ourselves, but this visualization process is really great to understand how our body is holding on to tension and what we need to release during this cycle. So we're going to bring our focus back to our toes, and we're going to notice how our feet are feeling, if there's any tension in our toes. And we're going to bring that focus down to the soles of our feet as our eyes are closed and we are sitting upright with our arms on our knees. Our focus is on the soles of our feet as we bring the focus in towards the heels, up around the ankles, up into the calves and around the shins. Noticing if you're feeling comfortable in the position that you're seated in. If you need to adjust, please adjust. So we can bring that focus up into our knees, and from our knees up into our thighs. Noticing how our thighs are feeling as a lot of tension is held in our legs as we go through our cycle, because our quads and our hamstrings really support the muscles within our pelvis, within our womb. As we bring that focus up around our glutes and into our lower back, coming around into the lower abdomen. Again, I want you to place your hand onto the lower abdomen, maybe rubbing this area if you wish, or just placing your hands here. We're then going to bring that focus up the stomach, noticing how our abdomen is feeling. Are we ready for this flow today, or do we need to go back to the guided meditation? Or do we need to go into a more intense flow? As we bring that focus up into the chest and around the shoulders, I want you to release the shoulders. Notice how your shoulders are holding tension in the body. Are they squeezing up towards your ears, or are they relaxed down and comfortable towards the floor? If you need to, please release your hands off of your abdomen as we focus on the arms, as we relax the arms and go down into the elbows, and then from the elbows into the wrist. As we bring that focus from the wrist into the hands and the fingers, I want you to notice how you're holding tension in the fingers. We have a lot of nerves and neurons in the fingers and in the toes, and this tension in this area is very important understanding of how we're holding tension in our shoulders and in our hips. As we take a nice deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth, I want you to bring that focus into our shoulders and around our head. We are going to bring our chin towards our chest, looking down towards the floor, and then we're going to bring our head and our chin up towards the ceiling, look, and up towards the sky. Feeling the stretch at the top of the neck, and then as we look down again, feeling the stretch at the back of the neck. I want you to slowly flow between these two positions here as you inhale, looking up, and exhale, looking down. Inhale, looking up, and exhale, looking down. Once we come to our last upright position, we are then going to bring our head to neutral, and we're going to look all the way over to our left, trying to keep our shoulders facing forwards. We're looking over to the left as much as we possibly can, taking a nice deep breath here. We're going to hold this position. Inhaling, we're straightening the spine, pushing our chest forwards and taking that inhale through the nose. And exhale, releasing the shoulder blades, relaxing the body, and slowly bringing our head over to the opposite side. Holding this position here, taking a nice deep breath in through the nose. And exhale, releasing. Bringing the head back to neutral. We're going to bring our left ear over to our left shoulder. As we bring it over as much as we can, noticing the stretch on the opposite side, you have an option to open up that hand a little bit and place it behind the back. The higher you get up behind the back, the more you feel the stretch. So if it's uncomfortable, bring it lower. As we hold this position here, I want you to push the chest forwards. Notice that the shoulders are equal. Placing the other hand on the floor if it's uncomfortable on your leg. Taking a nice deep breath here. And on the exhale, releasing the hand, bringing the head up and going over to the opposite side. Right shoulder and right ear are matching and connecting, and then we're going to bring that left hand behind the back as much as we feel comfortable, as high as up as we feel comfortable. As we push that chest forward, relax those shoulder blades down, taking a nice deep breath in here, feeling that breath being filled into the shoulder area here, and then exhale. We're going to release the hands and slowly bring it back to neutral as we lift up the head. We're going to roll the shoulders back and down and around. Nice deep breaths as we do this. Noticing how our body wants to flow. Moving and incorporating the chest if it feels comfortable. And we're going to reverse and go in the opposite direction. Take a nice deep breath. Squeezing it all the way up to your ears, rolling them forward, squeezing them behind you, and then back up to the ears. I want you to shake the hands out, noticing if there's any tension in your fingers, maybe squeezing your hands out if you need to, pulling your fingers, noticing if there's any tension in these areas. And we're going to take a nice deep breath, and we're going to open up the fingers as wide as we can, opening up the hands, opening up the chest, and then slowly hugging ourselves in. One nice deep breath and a hug as we relax our head down into our elbows, and then we gently rock from side to side, maybe giving our hands a little bit of a squeeze, squeezing around the shoulder blades, maybe around to the lower kind of shoulder blades and the sides of our body. Normally get really tight because our lower back muscles connect up to this area here. Maybe coming into your shoulders and your hands and squeezing here. And we're going to slowly, in our own time, make our way to our all fours. So as we come onto our all fours, I want you to notice the positioning that you're in. I want your hands to be shoulder width apart. So we should be in a nice straight line in between. And same with our hips. Our knees should be hip width apart. So from here, the balance of our shoulders, our elbows and our wrists, they're all in a straight line. From here, I don't want you to dip your back. I want you to keep it nice and engaged. And this might be quite painful, or you might notice the tension from your womb if you're on your cycle. So please be gentle with this. We are going to move around in a movement flow where your hips are going to start to move, but this is our neutral position. So whenever I say get into your all fours, I want you to notice the connection here. We're then going to move into our movement flow, which is an amazing part to do in the mid kind of flow of our cycle. So we're going to come round into a nice big circle, and I like to call it movement with water because I want you to try and flow like water. Okay, flowing like liquid. I want you to notice how your body feels as you go around in a nice big circle, maybe moving your hips, your back, your body in a way that feels comfortable for you. Now, if you don't feel that you can go as big and as wide as I am doing, you can just go around into a nice little circle, making sure that your fingers are spread out nice and wide. Take a nice deep breaths as you notice how you feel. And if you are coming around into the big shapes, as you come down all the way into this child pose here, maybe taking a moment and just staying here if that feels comfortable. I want you to listen to your body in this movement. And then we're going to come into neutral. We're going to bring our toes together and we're going to open up our knees a little bit wider, about mat width apart. We're then going to bring our bum all the way down to our heels and we're going to try and get that chest towards the floor. Now, if this is uncomfortable because of bloating in the belly, I want you to grab a pillow and put it on underneath you and lay your chest onto this pillow. This will help with the pressure against the womb, but it also helps open up all of these lower back muscles here. From here, we're going to take a nice deep breath in through the nose. And exhale, we're going to walk our fingers all the way over to the left side of our mat. So you go wherever you feel comfortable. I want to walk my fingers all the way on the outside of my mat. And I'm going to take a moment here to relax my head down to the floor. And I'm going to take a nice deep breath as I notice this twist on the side of my body. Nice deep breath. And on the exhale, we're slowly walking our fingers back into the center and then over to the opposite side. The flows, and this is why I want to mark an importance on the flows, is to really go slow between each flow. Okay, the flow is the movement in between each pose. So here is a pose, but when we are moving, we are now flowing in between that. So it's really important to be as mindful as you can. Please take a nice deep breath here, breathing into this twist. Deep breath in through the nose. And exhale out the mouth. Bringing ourselves and slowly flowing back into the center. Coming into our neutral position for our child's pose, Relaxing the head onto the mat, taking one more deep breath in through the nose. And on the exhale, we're going to push our hips up into the ceiling first. So we're engaging the core muscles and the pelvic floors. I really want you to squeeze the pelvic floor muscles in as we push the hips up, push the power into our hands, and we're going to come back into our all fours. From here, we're adjusting our positioning, making sure our shoulders and our wrists and our elbows are in line. And from here, I want you to lift your tail and your head up to the ceiling. And then exhale, you're bringing your tail and your head in towards your abdomen. We're going to come in between cat and cow. These positions are called. Flowing in between these positions. And then we're going to come back to neutral. So again, squeezing in that core, pulling the belly button towards the spine and making sure that our hands and our knees are in the position that we need. From here, I want you to tuck your toes and try to get your big toe and your other toes onto the floor as much as you possibly can. And from here, we're going to slowly walk our hands back to stretch our feet. We have a lot of different research about ancient philosophies that connect our feet to our womb, to the rest of our body. So it's really important to stretch our feet out. If this is enough in this position, please stay here. If you're able to walk your hands up onto your thighs and use the power of your upper body to push your feet down more, please do so. Roll your shoulders back as you stay in this position. Nice deep breath in through the nose. And on the exhale, walking ourselves back down. Keeping the toes tucked, we're going to take a nice deep breath. We're going to look forwards. We're going to engage the stomach. And from here, we're going to hover the knees up, engaging that abdomen. And then slowly releasing down and keeping the toes tucked. We're just going to move backwards and forwards. Backwards and forwards. We're going to come into one more knee hover. So engage the abdomen, place the hands onto the floor, keeping the toes tucked, lifting the knees off of the floor, holding this position as we look forwards. As you can see, my back is nice and straight, and then slowly lowering down, rocking back and forth one more time. From here, we're going to make our way into our downward dog. So one more knee hover, deep breath, hovering forwards, looking forwards, engaging the abdomen. Then we're lifting the hips up to the ceiling. I want you to adjust the feet so you feel comfortable, keeping the knees bent
and maybe the heels are not on the floor yet. So can you see my positioning is nice and relaxed in my legs? The focus is from my hands. I'm straightening my legs and I'm pushing my head in between my arms, pushing my chest towards my thighs and pushing my bum up towards the ceiling. From here, I'm going to slowly walk my feet all the way to the front of the mat, one step at a time until I feel uncomfortable and I need to release my hands. I'm going to start to shake my hands as I come to the top of the mat. Nice deep breaths as we're zombie walking towards the front of our mat. I want your feet to be about hip width apart, and we're going to slowly, from this forward fold position, roll ourselves up into standing. The last part that should lift up into standing is your head as you roll from vertebra to vertebra into standing. As we come into standing, I want you to adjust, shaking your feet, taking a moment to shake and bounce, maybe taking a nice deep breath, maybe staying completely still, whatever is easier or feels called to you. And we're going to just take a nice deep breath here, in through the nose and out through the mouth. And again, deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. From here, I just want you to rock from side to side. So you will be at the top of your mat. I know as you're looking at me, I'm on the middle of my mat. I just want you to step from left to right, maybe closing your eyes if you want to kind of connect more inwardly with your body and shut out all of those external experiences and influences into our nervous system and how we regulate stress. Sometimes closing our eyes is a great way to just connect inwardly. So maybe just lifting up the heels or stepping from left to right. I want you to notice how your feet feels, how your body moves as you sway from left to right. And from here, I want you to start to bounce, bouncing your knees. As we bounce and shake, this is a really nice way to just release any tension in our body. Notice how our body feels and what our body is trying to communicate to us. And from here, we're going to come into stillness and we're going to open up our hands, coming into a wide open, kind of reversed swan. And then we're going to come into our swan. So as we open up our hands again, our back is nice and straight. As we bend our knees, we're then going to come forward. I like to call this a swan because we hold this position here. These are our wings and it's quite a majestic pose. I want these legs to be bent as we look outwardly, and then we're going to slowly relax ourselves, releasing the upper body slowly down towards the floor. Forward fold position, keeping the knees bent if you want. You can hug your elbows together or you can relax them on the floor, whatever that feels comfortable, or maybe place them behind your ankles, okay? But from here, I just want you to take a moment to just hang in a position that feels comfortable for you. For me, I like to help hug my elbows, place my head in between my arms and gently rock from left to right, especially for my lower back, to release any tension in my quads. And then if you are in the same position as me, I want you to release your hands and place your hands behind your ankles and just gently start to squeeze the back of your legs. If you are still rocking from left to right with your hips in a small position, please continue to do so, but stop if that's uncomfortable for you in any way. As you're squeezing the calves, noticing how your body holding on to tension, and then we're going to slowly place our hands onto the mat, bending our knees, and we're going to come onto our bum. I want your knees to be bent, and they're going to stay bent as we slowly roll ourselves down into laying. But first, I want to connect with this part of our body, which is normally quite sore when we're on the mid part of our cycle. So hands onto the front of the knees. We're going to take a nice deep breath. We're going to push the chest forwards and we're going to squeeze the shoulder blades behind us as much as we can. And then we're going to reverse it and we're going to come inwardly, placing the head in between our knees and our chest. And we're going to rock and flow between these two positions. Inhaling, coming forwards. Exhale, coming inwards. Flowing between these two positions. Noticing how we feel. And on the next exhale, we're going to come into stillness. And I want you to pull your head into straightness. So it's like we're being pulled by the top of our head and our spine is nice and straight and our head is looking upwards. You can release your hands if you want to, or you can keep your hands onto your knees, whatever feels more comfortable. And then from here, we're going to slowly roll ourselves down into laying. So as you can tell, it's vertebra by vertebra. I'm engaging the abdomen, and this might be quite intense for your core and for your stomach, but it's a really nice way to communicate with your body that you are okay and that you are releasing tension in this area. Please keep your knees bent. I want you to pull the heels of your feet towards your bum as much as you can. And from here, we're going to push the belly button down into the floor. So I want you to remove the little gap between the mat and the floor. I want you to remove that gap by pushing the belly down into the floor. But we're actually going to rock between these two positions here before we come into our bridge lift. So rocking between these two positions, belly squeezed down, belly relaxed, belly squeezed down, belly relaxed. You can go as intense hold as you want or relaxed hold as you want. But from here, before we lift up into our bridge, I want you to push the belly down, push the heels into the floor, push the shoulders down into the floor, and we're going to lift the hips up into the ceiling, squeezing the glutes together as much as we can. On the exhale, releasing all the way down and then rocking the knees from left to right, taking a nice deep breath in through the nose. Going as far to the floor as you want or as close to the body as you need. And we're going to do one more bridge, pushing the feet down into the floor, the shoulders down into the floor, and we are lifting the hips up to the ceiling, to the sky, and exhale, releasing down, rolling the hips or rocking the hips from left to right. Taking nice deep breaths. From here, I want you to relax your left leg down onto the floor. We're going to pull the right knee in towards the body as much as we can. Take a nice deep breath here. And exhale, we're going to place the left hand on the outside of the right knee, and we're going to bring that leg across and in as much as you can. So we're not exaggerating and bringing it all the way over to the opposite side. That is not the focus. The focus is to bring it across and then in towards the body to feel that stretch in this area here. Taking a nice deep breath, and if that feels comfortable, you can then try to bring it over to the floor as much as you possibly can. Taking a nice deep breath, breathing into this twist. And on the exhale, we're going to bring ourselves back into neutral, bringing our hands behind our legs, and we're going to switch our legs over. So lifting the left leg up, bringing the hands wherever we feel comfortable if we need the assistance. If not, we can switch the legs across, bringing the opposite leg in towards the chest as much as we can. The right leg is nice and flat onto the floor. Taking a nice deep breath here, we're breathing into the nose. And on the exhale, releasing and relaxing. One last time, deep breath in. And on the exhale, we're bringing the right hand on the outside of the left leg, and we're going to bring it across and in towards the body as much as we feel comfortable, and then slowly bringing it over to the opposite side of our mat. Taking a nice deep breath here, we're going to breathe into this twist. Nice deep breath. And exhale, releasing. And again, one more time, deep breath in. And exhale, relaxing. Bringing ourselves back into neutral. I want you to bring both legs in towards the body as much as we can. And we're going to squeeze ourselves in. So holding our knees, maybe squeezing our hands, squeezing our feet, squeezing our glutes, squeezing everything in towards our body. And then on the exhale, I want you to slowly relax and release everything down onto your floor, onto your mat, sorry, not onto your floor as well. And we're going to bring our hands about about shoulder width, or kind of like a star shape, I like to call this, into our Savasana pose. Feet should be about mat width apart. Our hands should be on the outside of our mat as well. Please add pillows if you feel comfortable. You can place them underneath your lower abdomen, underneath your quads if you want, so your hamstrings if you want, just to support the legs as you kind of push that pelvis back into the floor as you lift your legs up. That also feels more comfortable for the lower back if your lower back is sore right now. We're just going to take a moment here for the next 2 to 3 minutes to be as silent and as still as we possibly can. Taking a nice deep breath in through the nose, filling up the lungs. Exhale, releasing and relaxing. And again, nice deep breath in through the nose. And exhale, release and relax. Please try to be as still and as quiet as you possibly can. You have an option of keeping your hands exactly where they are, or interlacing the fingers together and placing them onto your lower abdomen. And we're going to stay here for a moment, allowing our thoughts to pass like clouds. We're not attaching to any thoughts. As we absorb our practice, as we absorb what our body is trying to communicate with us, and we release into our mat. Noticing how your stomach is gently rising and falling. Noticing how your body feels. The different sensations and feelings that arise as you're in this position. And we're going to slowly start to wiggle our fingers and our toes. Slowly waking up the body. And we are going to roll over to the left side of our mat. Taking a moment here to find 3 things that we're grateful for. And we're going to slowly make our way up into seated. As we finish off our practice, we're going to place our hands together in prayer. Bringing our thumbs towards our head, giving thanks for calm and loving intentions. Giving thanks for calm and loving communication. Placing our thumbs against our chest on our heart space, giving thanks for calm and loving intentions. Taking a nice deep breath in through the nose and exhaling out through the mouth. One last time, nice deep breath in through the nose and exhaling out through the mouth. Placing our thumbs back onto our forehead in between our eyebrows, bowing forwards. Namaste. Thank you so much for doing this class. I hope your symptoms are getting better and easier over time, and I'm excited for you to do the intense class. See you soon.